Alright, hey everybody, my name is Adam, manager of Geek, here, powered by Freedom. And that was bad. Chu, my fiance, and I stopped by GameStop near our university today, and she was going to do some shopping for Christmas presents for people, and I decided to take a look around. I normally am against giving GameStop my money, but they had a good sale on 30% off their used titles, and I decided why not, let's take a look. And they had a lot that were pretty cheap, and so I took a look around and ended up buying quite a bit. I spent almost $100 that I don't have. And so welcome to my first ever hauls video. Now if you don't know what a hauls video is, a hauls video is basically, or a haul video is basically when someone goes out and, especially for geeky stuff since we're here on Geek, someone goes out and buys a lot of geeky stuff from like thrift shops or stores all at once, and you know, gets a nice haul, which is what I have here. Usually good deals, used items, things like that. And so that's what I'm going to be doing here in this video, is my GameStop haul. I basically bought myself a giant Christmas present, which at the moment is a box or two, big old boxes just full of stuff. I got tons of great Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. However, just in case someone gets me something that I bought, they get me that for Christmas, I'm waiting until after Christmas to open anything, that way I can return anything that I bought that somebody else got for me. So after Christmas, probably right after, I'm going to do a self-Christmas present haul video. It'll be probably like 2 parts because there's so many things, and it's going to be more geeky stuff, whereas this is mostly gaming stuff, so let's jump right into it. So I have this magical bag of GameStop goodness. Now, firstly, I got 2 of these little packets of Mass Effect mini mates. And what these are just little mystery bags of little 2-inch minifigures, Mass Effect branded, but these are GameStop exclusive. And I've already actually opened these and recorded them for Geek. They may not be up by the time you watch the video, but they will be up very soon. Mystery bag videos seem to be really popular, and frankly they're kind of fun to make. And there's something that the toys, if there's something that I'm interested in, like Mass Effect, I can keep for set displays and things like that. But otherwise, I'm adding to a toys donation box for all the toys that I get for videos that I'm not going to keep, and I'm donating them to Toys for Tots at the end of next year. And one of the games that my fiance got, which isn't an Elder Scrolls related game, so I'm not spoiling anything, for whatever reason there was one of the pre-order bonus little promo stickers for the Elder Scrolls Online beta, and the ring is actually a sticker, so I'm going to put the sticker on something, because I love stickers for anything and everything. I picked up EverQuest Sentinel's Fate on the PC. Now to be honest, I haven't actually opened this yet. I know I saw him put the discs in, but usually this is just kind of like a PSA. Usually the keys in PC games for GameStop, if they leave them in the box like they did with this case, to be completely honest, these keys oh, that's because I'm showing them too. These keys are probably already used, and that's simply because they left them in the box, and so just about anybody could have looked in them, and it actually happens a lot with employees as well, from what I've heard. This is in one of the original PC game fat boxes, and you can tell by this old tag, it's been in here a long time. Now, the box is pretty beat up, so for a new game, it's honestly not worth a whole lot, but it was less than $5, and I felt like it needed a good home because GameStop does not respect their PC games in the slightest. And so I picked it up and gave it a home, and it'll go on my home, on my shelf with that spine sticking out. And frankly, hello focus, I feel like I've done my job. It was only $5. The other one was like closer to 20, so I didn't feel like getting it. I also picked up 2 Nintendo DS games. On Black Friday, their DS games were like cents. You know, they were like 50 cents to $1, and so I totally missed out on that, but they're still trying to get rid of them en masse. And so I have no clue if these are any good, because I was never into DS games, but I'm trying to catch up. I picked up Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, it's a Square Enix game, so hopefully it's good, but I've never heard of it. And then Prince of Persia's Prince of Persia Battles, which is a Ubisoft game, but it's also probably a licensed movie game, and therefore probably not any good. Alright, moving on to Xbox 360, I picked up, which is the bestseller Platinum Hits version, Red Dead Redemption. I've never actually owned nor played this game. I'm not a big Rockstar Games fan. I'm not a fan of Grand Theft Auto, and I never will be, nor do I plan on putting any time into it. But I've heard amazing things about Red Dead Redemption, so I wanted to give it a try. not only did it come with the game, but it looks like it's honestly a new to used conversion, which means that nobody bought their game, and so eventually they had to mark it as a used game, because the disc looks practically brand new. The book is still in pristine condition. There is, actually that is something to take a look at. The case has little prongs inside for what would seem to be a second disc, and one of them is broken, but that just happens if you squeeze it too hard. But there's nothing relating to a second disc. But the map for it is in here completely untouched, and I love getting the things that come in cases like that, like the maps. And like I said, it's completely untouched, so I'm thinking it was a new to used game and that just nobody bought it, and so they converted it from a new title to used, and nobody's actually played this, which is kind of cool to think about. Those are always really good finds. And second, on the Xbox 360, I picked up Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z. I heard this is probably the worst Ninja Gaiden game to have ever existed. However, I'm interested. Wow. Yo cases, yo cases. Some of these used discs are not in the best condition, so I'm afraid I may have to return a couple. This one's got some scratches and actually like gunk on it, but it should be fine. But frankly, I thought Ninja Gaiden 3 wasn't very good too, so I just got it to give it a try, because it looks like it could be fun if I don't take it too seriously. It also came with the soundtrack, which I thought was pretty cool that they actually included and kept. Often, GameStop doesn't keep the extra stuff. And then let's move on to PlayStation 3, and we'll end on Wii. I did get a couple Wii games. PlayStation 3, I picked up Medal of Honor Warfighter. I played a little bit of an unlegitimate PC copy before apparently it was just broken. Obviously not a very good game, but something I still wanted to play through anyway, just because I like shooters. And I know what I'm getting going into this, so nobody has to tell me it's a terrible game, because I know. Picked up Anarchy Reigns in 2012 when I worked at GameStop. When did this come out? The copyright's covered up. But in 2012 when I worked at GameStop, I heard nothing but commercials for this game, and suddenly it's less than $5. So I wanted to give it a shot. It looks like it's a third-person brawler. Love their third-person brawlers. Should be fun. And then I picked up Lair, which is a fantasy action RPG, you know, kind of in the medieval fantasy realm, kind of like Skyrim, but obviously the game's not all that much like Skyrim. A hero must rise from the ashes. It's probably terrible, to be honest, because it's a first-person Sony game. It was probably like an early launch title for the PS3, and I don't know, it was $1. It was literally $1. Yeah, you can tell it's a first-person Sony game because it says presented in high-definition 1080p and true 7.1 surround sound. So it was clearly a selling, like they were trying to sell the PS3 with this game. So and it may have even came with some people's PS3s. I honestly don't know. I do remember when I worked at GameStop, it was like $5, and I wanted to grab it just because it was $5, and I never did. So now I got it. I can figure out what the hell it is and if it's any good. Lastly, in my giant haul from GameStop, I picked up a couple Wii games. Now, the first one is something I've just been wanting to try for a couple years now since I saw a C-Nanners video on it, which is Cooking Mama. This one is Cooking Mama Cook-Off. They also had another one, but it was a little bit more expensive. And I realized this game is going to be the stupidest game in the world. That's exactly why I want to give it a go. My concern is, however, the disc is actually kind of dirty, and you're not going to be able to see this most likely. No, you just see reflections. It is scratched to hell and back, so I got to give it a shot in my Wii U soon and make sure it works, because it's certainly not in the best condition. And lastly, the most expensive thing that I picked up in this haul, which makes it kind of frustrating because I could have gotten more or frankly not paid as much, is Pokemon Battle Revolution for the Wii. There were a couple Wii Pokemon games that I was interested in that have been ridiculously hard to find, and from what I can tell, they were pretty expensive. However, I don't entirely remember what they were called, but I'm pretty sure Battle Revolution was one of them, and then the two PokePark games, which that GameStop also had, and I really wanted to get because every time I try to find any of the Wii Pokemon games, they're like $90 online because apparently they like stopped making them or something, and they're really hard to find. But they were all around $30 because first-party Nintendo Wii titles are so freaking expensive. It's really frustrating, even when they're used. This is used, and the original price was $34. I don't think that's what I paid for it, but that's the original price. Thankfully, it still has the book in decent condition, and the disc is still in good condition, so I got a decent, buy from it. I'm really hoping when I have more money and can justify going and getting it that they still have the 2 PokePark games, because I'd like to grab them before it really would cost me a couple $100 for it. That was my first ever hauls video. Let me know how I did, if you liked it, if you want to see more of them. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a huge one with like movies and action figures and things like that for my Christmas one, after Christmas, for my present to myself. Got quite the haul of games and goodies from GameStop. Normally I'd recommend never give GameStop your money, especially for pre-orders, so keep that in mind. But just wanted to share this with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out Geek for more upcoming network announcements and things like that as we can get to them. And otherwise, stay geeky, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe.